All right. Well. Welcome everybody to the stream. Welcome. It is officially patch day for the War Within. As you can see, we have this lovely new login screen that unfortunately we can't go any further than this. And the reason being is the realms are still down for maintenance. So, what does that leave us to do today? Well, I for one thoroughly want to start delving into the pre-patch and seeing what that has to offer. But we're gonna have to wait a little bit because it looks like it's not gonna be live till 5 p.m. Central. So we've got a ways to wait. However, we still have a lot to talk about. So let's chat a little bit about the pre-patch. So Blizzard has announced that big changes arrive into the introduction of warbands, skywriting, class and system updates, and more with the pre-patch content update, which is everything that we are experiencing here today. Some of it seems like it will be rolled out through the pre-patch, with the event starting today, and then going in through the 26th, and then into launch for August 26th. So the Radiant Echoes is what they're calling the pre-patch expansion event. This is where, if any of you are familiar with any type of World of Warcraft game, that the pre-patch events are actually quite fun. They're very contextual to ending the current expansion and rolling into the newest expansion. My fondest ones being, obviously, like, coming into Legion pre-patch, you had all of these different places within, your normal leveling areas in Azeroth that were getting invaded by, like the Legion forces. And so you'd be leveling an alt in Wetlands or in Westfall, and then these giant portals would pop out with, all of these, properly leveled and sized elites, and you'd have to gang up, and it was just a massive event. It's also a great way to catch up or level alts during this period, as well as just kind of enjoying the little bits of information that you get about the new expansion through these quests. And so it sounds like there's going to be rotating events that cycle between a few different zones, and then there'll be portals for you to be able to take. So the item level is 480, which currently is it puts it just above a fully tweaked out set of veteran gear, which I think tops out at 476. So it gives you a decent amount of item level items. You're going to be getting a 32 slot bag, a regent bag, mounts, pets, a new heirloom ring. So that's one of the things that they announced earlier, is that you're going to be getting a new heirloom ring for this. And again, for those of you that are leveling alts, this is going to be the perfect time to do that. The next thing is that we are getting our warbands. Now, I don't know exactly how much we're going to be able to do with this, but your login screen once we log in today, we should be able to see the warbands in place where, regardless of your faction, shared renown, the warbank account, things like that, you'll be able to see like all of these different things happening um, within the war within. And so it's one of those nice quality of life things, especially for me. Like, it's always a pain in the butt to just kind of have to do the grind of getting your faction experience or your renown levels or whatever other type of leveling system that's in place. That seems, it always seems a bit arbitrary that you have to do it over and over and over again. And so with the warband account, that should be somewhat eliminated, because you're going to have shared renown, shared achievements and collections, and then you'll be able to get those for anybody that's on your account. And next is skywriting. So this is huge, and we've already seen this a little bit in the starting capital cities, where you're able to ride dragon flying mounts. Dragon flying is now being called skywriting when you're outside of the dragon mount or the dragon isles. The differences being is that you'll be able to toggle between skywriting and the original flight style. And so skywriting dragonfly riding will be renamed to skywriting. You will now learn it at level 10, and then you'll be able to switch flight style. So those are kind of like the two biggest key features, other than that being something that you can get now throughout the entirety of Azeroth, which is awesome. The expert riding and flying, that's also going to be increasing your speeds, things like that. So you'll now be able to do that. The biggest thing that I'm actually excited for is all the druids out there. You'll be able to skyride in druid form now, which is great. I'm kind of curious to see what that's going to look like. Visions of Azeroth. So strange visions are calling heroes of Azeroth. Players who have reached level 70 and have completed the final chapter of Dragonflight questline will be called to take their next steps into the story leading within the war within, for the first part of the Visions of Azeroth questline. So be on the lookout for that. These quest lines that happen during pre-patch are really just introductory quests. They introduce you to bits and pieces of the story to come from the next expansion. So they're not going to give you this mind-blowing, 20-part questline series that unlocks a whole bunch of stuff. Really, it's just to give you a little bit of taste of the next expansion, and then also give you that little bit of flavor for what you're going to be experiencing in the next expansion. So, character updates. Dragonflight content is now the default level experience for 10 to 70. It was Battle for Azeroth. That's something that we all expected to happen. And to be perfectly honest, I think leveling in Dragonflight would be a way better experience for newcomers anyways, just because it will give you kind of a feel for a sense of what the current game systems feel and look like. If you were to do Kata or even so you could do Warlords of Draenor and experience things that are really put aside and never looked at again, like Garrisons. If you really wanted to go through that, you could. But if you want a very smooth playable experience, just do Dragonflight. It's really good. I'd recommend going through that. Guild cross-realm guild bank functionality is available. So that makes it really awesome, honestly, just because there are so many people, especially now, like for people like me that have been playing World of Warcraft for I hate to say this, 20 years. You've made friendships across a number of different realms, and I've met so many people playing this game and have had to start characters on several different types of servers just so that I could play with my friends. um Having the ability to be able to be cross realm on nearly everything in the game is huge. That's a big step forward in just personal play experience as this game goes into its 30th year. I mean, can you imagine? um it's one of those things where I think that been a long time coming, and I'm glad that it's here. The new human racial, no place like home. Your Hearthstone cooldown is reduced by 5 minutes and gains an additional charge. While this is cool, I guess, um, it completely removes any sort of like viability for human racials in the context of playing the game. Having a an extra hearth on your Hearthstone and it being 10 minutes now instead of 15 minutes when you're in a guild because you have the hasty hearth, um it it seems like a huge nerf to humans, especially when you have people like the orc racials where they're still stun resistant, they still have the buff for damage. There's so many other racials that give some added benefit while you're playing the game. I don't see Hearthstone cooldown as a benefit. It's more of just like hey, here's something. It almost feels like, you know what this feels like? It feels like they couldn't think of anything else to give that wasn't similar to what's already been created. And so they just said, well, let's just give them an extra hearth. The other thing too, that diplomacy has been removed, which I always enjoyed having as a human character, just because reputation gains are just it's such a grind, honestly. So huge nerf to humans, which sucks. I like playing human characters. I will now be sticking to orcs and Kultirians because that matches the poppy vibe. The character restoration service is temporarily unavailable. Understandable because we are going through a major patch and an expansion. Paid character transfers disabled. Understandable. The level 60 character boost provides items to 327 gear. Understandable. That seems like a viable place to start when you just hit a fresh 60. Let's see, classes. Here we go. This is the meat and potatoes of all this stuff here. So talent loadouts that can be saved on a character have been increased to 40. Holy shit. That's huge. 40. Okay. Talents that increase melee range have been removed. Boo! I primarily play a lot of melee characters, and that's always nice, just to be always in range. What this does mean, though, is that I feel like Blizzard's worried about mechanics, because if you're able to, as a tank, completely stay out of range of a certain mechanic that causes point blank AoE or anything like that, because of those talents, I could see why they would want to remove those, because part of being a melee character is having to dance in and out of that sort of damage that is point blank right next to the mobs that you're fighting. Let's see here. Fear, sleep, silence, stun, and interrupt visual effects have been updated. Additionally, all movement and parrying effects greater than 50 will now display a universal slow visual on the target. I'm interested to see like what these visuals are going to look like, mostly because you know, I've got to be honest, there's so much going on the screen that unless I'm fighting just one mob, I don't think I'll be able to tell. So it'll be interesting to see like how they're going to make that change happen. Reduce the percentage granted by avoidance and leech rating. I feel like that's not like this is a change that was just not necessary. I don't think. I could see them wanting to make leech and those types of effects not be as great because of other skills and abilities, but it seems to me like they're just nerfing it across the board just because it was so great for anybody that had that type of leech or avoidance. So as you can see, nearly every single class had it. Ooh, rogues, leech poison, down 2%. Lichborn 3%. Well, that was off of a buff, but yeah, you can see that it's affecting everybody that has leech. All right, Death Knight. All talent trees have moved locations or have their pathing updated. Subduing grasp when you pull an enemy to the damage that they deal you is reduced by 6%. That's a pretty cool mechanic, I think, for Blood DK. And I wonder, it doesn't say have anything as far as like that being an effect on PvP, but if you're Blood DK, you're probably not PvPing as Blood. New talent, Osmosis. Anti-magic shell increases healing received by 15%. Interesting. New talent, Null Magic. Magic damage is reduced by 10% in the duration of harmful magic. Interesting. Okay, so I mean, I guess that's cool. I don't really remember anti-magic shell needing to be changed. I guess they wanted to give Death Knights another cooldown to use to help like mitigate things. Any extra healing received is kind of a bonus for a Death Knight. New talent, Vestigial Shell. Casting anti-magic shell grants 2 nearby allies a lesser anti-magic shell that absorbs magic damage and reduces the harmful magic effects against them. So this is kind of cool too, because for me, I'm going to talk a lot about tanking because that's primarily my role in how I play. So for Blood DK, having an ability that affects other characters other than just your kind of like your splash healing that you have with like your AoE and just any type of like additional effect if you're using like the rune that gives you increased splash healing for every time you use your rune heal. This is something that will grant extra damage mitigation to your allies, which is nice. Ice Prison, Chains of Ice now also roots enemies for 4 seconds. Yeah, I mean that's great. I don't see too much of a benefit for that unless you're PvPing. Runic Protection, your chance to be critically struck is reduced by 3% and your armor is okay. So this is huge. So other than pure like heal protection, and your bone shield, Death Knights really don't have any type of mitigation, and so Having a crit reducer and an armor increase is always a bonus. Let's see, unyielding wheel, anti-magic shells. So a lot of this seems like it's going to give Death Knights so many more cooldowns. Chains of Ice, anti-magic shell, Rune of the Stonestones gargoyle can now be rune forged on one-handed weapons. Abomination limb no longer grants bone shield. Runic. That's kind of a nerf to unholy. Rune of the Apocalypse. Damage taken increased by 4%, was 1%. Damage increased by pestilence. Famine effect. I'm not very familiar with Rune of the Apocalypse. Like I said, primarily I am Death Knight. Icebound Fortitude cooldown reduced to 60 seconds. Great. That's one of the big cooldowns you use as a tank. Cleaving Strikes now also retains bonus effects for being within your death and decay. Great. Veteran of the Third War now grants 20% stamina. Now a 1-point talent. That's huge. That is amazing. To give 10% more health and half of the cost, I shall take it. So it seems to me like they're condensing some and then creating new on the other hand. Let's see, specifically for blood. Bone Collector. When you pull an enemy, generate 1 charge of Bone Shield. Great. Ossified Vitriol. When you lose a Bone Shield charge, the damage of your next Moral Rend. Great. That's up by 75%. Or stacking to 75%. Carnage. Blood Drinker and Consumption now contribute to your mastery. Blood Shield. Each time an enemy strikes your Blood Shield, the cooldowns of Blood Drinker and Consumption have a chance to be reset. Interesting. Bloodied Blade pairing attacked. Grants you a charge of Bloodied Blade, increasing your strength by 4%. I mean, Death Knights already do like a heck of a lot of damage right now. This is going to be interesting to see like how that affects them on the damage meters right now. Crimson Scourge is earlier. Oh, that becomes an actual learned ability, not a talent. So Death Caress, learned ability. Yeah, so lots of changes are happening for all of these. Holy shit, Frost is getting a huge damage increase. Frost Strike increased, Obliterate increased, Howling Blast increased, Frost Fever, Remorseless Winter, Glacial Advantage, Frost Scythe. Well, it looks like Frost is going to be a contender for top DPS here. So take a look at all of these new talents. There's a lot of talents that are being remade. Some are being moved as so I expect that when we log in today for the first time, everything is going to be reset. Check your talent trees. There's going to be a lot of new changes. Demon Hunter. Wow, really nothing for Demon Hunter. That's interesting. So Illuminated Sigils now grant additional charge, only Sigil of Flame. Druids. All of their talent trees have had many new locations and things have been updated. Okay. So Moon Conform is now a learned ability. Swiftmend is now a learned ability. Improved Swipe has been removed from the talent tree and added to Swipe as a default. Interesting. So new talents: Oak Skin, Survival Instincts, and Bark Skin reduced additional. Nice. New talent: Fluid Form. Shred and Rake can be used in any form and shifts you into cat form. Mangle can be used in any form and shifts you into bear form. Wraith and Starfire can shift you into Moonkin form if known. Okay. Weird. I'm not entirely sure how that's gonna work. Mostly, like, so if you use Shred and Rake and then you go in to use a Mangle and it switches you into bear form, does the bar switch too? And then you have to use another ability to switch yourself back to cat, or back to cat. So you'd have to go back and so I don't know how that's going to work. That's going to be very interesting. Lots of changes, it looks like, to Feral, at least, or Guardian now. I'll forever call it Feral. Balance has got, let's see, 1, 2, 3 new talents, 4 new talents. And it looks like a lot of changes to just damage. Feral has got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2 new. Restoration. 2 new talents, 3 new talents, 4 new talents. Evoker. Honestly, I have yet to play an Evoker. I have one. I have yet to play it. So, thoughts to anybody? Oh, hey, what's up, Godsmack? Welcome. Sorry, man. I'm recording a video. And does pineapple... Okay, so Godsmack apparently wants to know if pineapple belongs on a pizza, and absolutely. 100% it does. Along with that, some good salty Canadian bacon. And then also... Oh, shit. Welcome to the stream. Holy fuck. Thank you, Godsmack, for the raid. Hello, everybody. I am Warcraft Poppy. We are going over the Warcraft War Within pre-patch notes. Sorry, I totally forgot to turn on chatter and get my little dings and dongles updated here. But I do appreciate the raid. Thank you so much, sir. How is everybody doing today? All right. So continuing on to the Druid, or no, sorry, we're past the Druid on the Evoker. I have yet to play an Evoker, so I don't really know too much about that other than I do enjoy having them in my groups. I always seem to have a much easier time through dungeons and raids whenever there's Evokers around. So, yay for them. Yeah, I bet, dude. Your trip look really cool, though. But lots of new talents. It looks like their talent tree is going to also be reset. So when you get a chance to log in, look at those. Hunter. I really want to level a Hunter. Survival looks really cool now. They have gotten so many changes to their talent trees. There's a lot of new things happening for Hunters. So I'm not going to go through the entire talent tree list. One of the things that I do want to point out, though, are just kind of, the amounts of things that are happening with each specs, or with each class. and then just try to get through the notes so that we all can see, kind of the new stuff that's going to be happening over the next couple of weeks or 4 weeks till the War Within. But it looks like a lot of the changes that are happening are squishing talent trees to make room for new types of abilities. As with every expansion, something always disappears, so it seems like Leech and Avoidance is kind of on its way out, since they are reducing those abilities quite a bit throughout all the classes. I suspect that will be one of the things that kind of goes by the wayside, kind of like Resilience and defense caps and all that sort of stuff. So with that, a lot of improvements happening with the Hunter. Beast Mastery has got several new talents. We're talking about 6 or 7 different talents here. This right here looks really cool. I've seen this on the beta, and to be a Beast Mastery Hunter and having more abilities that are ranged attacks that are outside of just augmenting what you do with your pet, is only going to make Beast Mastery Hunters even better. And I think, if I remember correctly, for one of the damage meter charts shows Beast Mastery pretty high right now. So we'll see how long that lasts. Marksmanship was very low still. I haven't seen much happening with Beastmaster or with marksmanship, mostly because I'll be honest, it's the same flavor over and over again. There's really only so much you can do with a crappy pet and just firing on your own. That's pretty much the way that it is with marksmanship. It's always been that way to me, at least. There's no kind of flair to it. But a lot of their damage is being increased. A lot of their main core damage, which is arcane shot, aim shot, trick shot, all of those are being reduced or increased in some way to help with the damage. Now, survival. So survival has gotten probably one of the bigger updates to its new talents and kind of just the playability of it. Part of it is to give some flavor to survival hunters that I think that they've been looking for. A lot of that has been trying to get that true like melee hunter vibe going, which I really want Blizzard to get this right, because I've always loved the idea of being able to be a melee character with a pet. And so it seems like that they're on their way to that, while still having some of that feel for being able to move in and out of range and melee. So lots of new talents. I probably one of the non-tank mains that I'll be doing in the War Within is gonna be my hunter for sure. And I'm definitely going survival. I'm gonna play around with the trees once the patch is done and we can go live, which I don't think is gonna be for another. Let's see here. Yep, we're still down. Dang it. Yeah, we got about an hour or so for that. Let's see, it's 2:30. Yeah, we've got a while. Mrs. Spooky, thanks for the follow. So mages. All the talent trees have been updated, so lots of changes for mages as well. I'll be perfectly honest, I have never had more fun as a mage than in SOD. I loved healing as a mage. I know that they will never. They will never do that in retail, ever. I think that, sod is the flavor of the month kind of area for things like that. Um, there are some things that I wish that they would bring over from sod into retail, because I think that they're just awfully cool. Privilwire, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Hope everybody's having a good time. But with that, Arcane is getting a huge buff this expansion. And so for any of you that are Arcane Mage fans, the War Within is your time to shine, because they are at the moment S tier damage, and probably will be for a while. Just seeing these talent tree specs, lots of changes to, and this is something that I've noticed across the board with a lot of the damage dealing classes, especially the range damage dealing, is that they are starting to work in abilities that are doing more damage to more mobs at the same time. And so lots of AoE tuning for that. But mages are just getting stacked right now with Arcane, and your damage is getting buffed. It's going to be crazy. I think every mage is going to be an Arcane Mage. All right, fire. Once again, lots of changes. Mage is the other class that has gotten probably some of the most changes that you'll see within the War Within. I think mostly because a lot of what's happening with the mages is there's a lot of bloat when it comes to abilities, cooldowns, things like that, and while condensing some of that, introducing new abilities and spells, some of that bloat has to be cleared to add new bloat, essentially. I mean, let's be honest, we're going to have plenty of buttons to push. Frost, on the other hand, has not seen really anything. So if you're a Frost mage and you like Frost, sorry guys, probably not going to be a lot of them around. Monks. Lots of changes for monks. I am actually very excited. I do want to play my Brewmaster monk, and see some of the new changes that they're doing for Brewmasters. I think there's still a lot of fine tuning when it comes to how the stagger effects work, mostly because there still really isn't like true damage mitigation when it comes to monks being able to dodge or parry and then use stagger to kind of take that damage over time. If there's 1-2 shot abilities happening, it's still very hard for a monk to be able to mitigate that damage, because there's not a whole lot of ways for you to mitigate that. Your heals and your flasks are just really not enough in those instances, and so you really see it in higher level normal and heroic raids, when you are not even over geared, just at appropriately geared levels. It's very hard for a monk to be able to mitigate that damage like a warrior or a paladin would be able to. So part of that, I think, is going to be fixed in the War Within, but we shall see. But you can see here, Brewmaster, new talent, Elixir of Determination. When you fall below 40%, you gain an absorb for 50% of the recently purified damage. So this effect in itself is basically kind of like the Brewmaster's version of shield block. You get a little bit of hey Ellen, what's up? Part of the raid. Thanks for coming in. You basically mitigate a portion of the damage that's already happened to you. So essentially, I mean, really all it is just it's the monk's version of shield block. Can't occur more than once every 15 seconds, and it and there's a certain amount of damage being taken away or absorbed. Rising Sun Kick grants you a stack of Elusive Brawler. One with the win, you get a 10% chance to reset your Elusive Brawler stacks on a successful dodge. Augment Blessing, when you get when you would be healed above the maximum health, that is amount equal to 40% of your critical chance strike over heal a time effect. That's going to be interesting. So instead, you convert an amount equal to 40% of your critical strike chance to a heal over time effect. I don't know why they're including crit chance into that effect, but the heal over time effect will help out. So it may seem like one of the stats that you want to buff as a brewmaster is going to be crit at this point. New talent, Ox Stance. Ooh, they're putting stances in there, huh? Okay. Casting Purifying Brew grants charges or stacks of Ox Stance based on stagger level when you take damage that is greater than 60. This is what I was talking about. Greater, so damage, like one shot ability damage of your current health. It charges consumed to increase your amount of stagger. Interesting. Okay, so they're just increasing the stagger level, which I mean, I guess that might help. Along with the Absorb Shield, you might be able to have both of those up and running at the same time to mitigate that damage. It's still it still feels a little bit RNG-ish, but we'll see how that works. New talent, Black Ox Adept, Rising Sun Kick grants Ox Stance. Okay, so there's multiple ways for you to get Ox Stance then. Heightened Guard, Ox Stance will not trigger when an attack is larger than 40%. Oh, okay. So that, yeah, that might be helpful as well. Anvil and Starve has been updated. So this is what I'm talking about having some higher viability in like higher tiered mythics, being able to mitigate that higher level of damage, especially in places like where the affix is one where it's just bumps insane amount of damage, and so you know you don't see very many monks at those high levels, which I'm hoping to be able to do at some point at this next expansion, but we'll see. Mistweaver, never really tried Mistweaver. I'm not much of a healer, guys. I'll be honest. I like to stabby pokey and or get slapped in the face. I don't really do the whole like mending thing. Just how I am. Windwalker, I will be DPSing as a monk as well, so we'll see some of this. I am really excited just to kind of go through these new talent trees and see what's going on. Paladin, I mean, what's to say about a paladin? I've leveled a paladin pretty much for the last 15 years. I think I've first started a paladin. Oh gosh, this is gonna age me. My very first paladin was in original Wrath of the Lich King in 2000 and was that 2006? Godsmack, help me out. You're old. You know this. So roughly around the 2006 area. That was my very first paladin, and his name was Duracell. And I love that guy. Human paladin. All paladin talent trees have been moved or locations. I have healed as a paladin though, I'll be honest. It's not bad. Uh, what's up, Lexi? Welcome to the stream. All right, so thanks. Glad you could make it. Thanks for watching. So Bastion of Light has been redesigned. You cast your next 5 casts of judgments, generate 2 additional holy power. Sanctuary has been redesigned. Consecration benefit persists for 4 seconds after you leave it, which is kind of nice because like being tied to consecration sometimes sucks a little bit. Crusader's Resolve has been reassigned. Target struck by Avenger's Shield, deal 10% reduced melee damage. Anything as a tank that reduces your melee damage is always going to be good, and it's always going to be nice to the healers. Strength and Adversity now grants 5 parry per target. Was 2. Wow, that's a huge jump. That seems like a lot. We'll see how that kind of feels like in when you're actually doing like, you know, multi-mob pulling. Light of the Titans is now a 1-point talent hero with time percentage over the original value rather than attack power based. Okay. Bulwark of Order is now a 1-point talent. Okay. So Rhett did get a pretty decent change to kind of the way that they do things. So the Divine Hammer that spins around you, consuming Holy Strike to strike enemies within 8 yards of radiant damage every 2 seconds while active. Your holy power generating abilities generate 75% faster. So Divine Hammer is probably going to be one of the de facto DPS things in your rotation now, just and anything that you can within your talent tree to bump the damage or bump the design of that talent is going to be, I think, one of the meta things that go on right now. Let's see, priests also get a lot of changes. I have never, in 20 years of playing World of Warcraft, have I ever played a priest, which is weird. I just don't. I don't know why. They're cool, but I've never actually played one. But it does look like Discipline's shields are getting better. Holy's healing is getting better. And there was actually, so there was one thing that I think I remember one of the videos of I forget his name, but one of the major creators, I think it was Metagoblin, kind of talked about how Mind Flay is going to kind of change, and that's going to be kind of one of the things that that Shadow Spec uses instead of what they've currently been. I don't know for sure. Again, don't quote me on this. I'm not a priest by any means, but it seemed like Shadow was getting some sort of a change to make it easier to DPS on the move. So, rogues, near and dear to my heart. That is where my very first character in World of Warcraft was a little wee gnome rogue. All talent trees have been updated. Shadow Hearth Leech increased by 3%. Acrobatic Strikes been redesigned. Auto attacks increase. Movement speed by 1% for 3 seconds, stacking up to 10%. So a 30%, or no, 1% for 3 seconds up to 10. So a 3% movement increase ish. Cut to the Chase is now learned. Yeah, I absolutely and thoroughly enjoy Assassination as a rogue. It's one of the like my flavors of rogues that just feel very much on point with what I think of in my mind, in Poppy's brain, as what a rogue should be. You have daggers, and you're putting poison on them. Like, I know, and that is what breaks my heart, is that they are fucking terrible on the DPS meters right now. It really sucks. And the whole like change with outlaw, I understand the change. I think the whole pirate theme is tired. It doesn't feel like a rogue. Like, swashbuckling should have been its own class, and we should have just left rogues to the shadows and made them stealthy and stabby. Like, I don't need to pull out a pistol as a rogue. I want to be invisible. Like, that's just me. But I do agree with you. As much as I love rogues, they are not looking good for the War Within at all. But lots of changes and damage increases to the rogue playability. So I don't want to rule them out completely as not being able to be one of the top DPSers in, like, you know, a Mythic Plus or in raids, but they've got a long way to go. And where, like, why can't bleed effects just work, like, as a DPS? You know, like, every mythic that you go to, every mythic dungeon, just, it absolutely goes against what bleed effects are supposed to do, because the fights are so quick. You don't get your bleed effects off for the full count a lot of times on some of the mobs. And so, like, that's honestly why assassination is not one of the good DPSers when it comes to mythic rating or mythic plus dungeons. It's just their whole thing is just kind of like, let them die slowly, and you don't want to go slow in a mythic, which is why, like, subtlety and outlaw have kind of been more of the go-to spec for that. But I don't know, we'll see. I love playing them. I'll still play them, and I'll be sad when I play them, but I'll still play them. Shaman Gott's back here. This is all you right here. This is your bread and butter. This is your baby. They're getting a new talent. Stone Bulwark Totem. Summons the Earth Totem at the feet of the caster for 30 seconds, granting a caster shield, absorbing damage for 10 seconds, and additional absorb for 5 seconds, 2-minute cooldown. Have you given up on the shaman? I thought you were like shaman at heart, even though you play ret. Well, it doesn't look like it's gonna get any better, I'll be honest. TTV Baz, what is up? Thank you. Welcome in. Welcome in. Yeah, so a lot of these, like, are, from what it looks like, they're removing or adding, you know, 2 or 3 buttons, and making them just, you know, like, they're making them abilities, as opposed to just like something that you choose in your talent tree. But that doesn't get rid of the button use per se. Some of them have been rolled into just a part of another ability, and so you do get some of that bloat removed, but you're still getting like a lot of you're still getting a lot of that button bloat, and with all these new talents, it's only going to get worse. Thanks, man. Baz, I am doing well. I am not working for the next 2 days, so I'm going to be hot and heavy in the pre-patch, most likely with Godsmack at some point. But we'll see. I really want enhancement to be something, because I've always loved um, the play style of enhancement and kind of like the theme of enhancement, but it's never been something that has been very good. Yeah, dude, 16 buttons is a lot. Like I've got a gaming mouse that has what is this, 12 buttons, and the I still struggle with some of these classes. Let's see. Enhancement. Maelstrom weapon is now learned and is removed from the class tree. Feral lunge is now learned. Flurry moved from the class tree to the enhancement tree. And then the following talents have been removed. So Windfree Totem, Focused Insight, and Refreshing Waters. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, a lot of macros with shamans. But for Miss Melly Mel, she's got a lot of new talents for her Resto Shaman. What's so you're gonna main Ret Pally or Prot Pally? What's Mel's plan? What is she gonna main? Oh, nice. Yeah. I mean, it's effective though, right? Like the holy priest is looking quite nice. All right. So warlock, all trees have been moved. This is another, like, I've loved warlocks since, I don't know, probably um I think I've played a warlock since at least Burning Crusade. I don't think I had one in beginning classic, but Burning Crusade I started PvPing with a warlock, and Affliction was like Soul Link. Oh my gosh, that was the best. I do kind of want to try warlock again, because it's been a really long time since I've done that. Um, and I think that, like, as far as like having a ranged caster class, I think I kind of want to get back into doing a warlock, and now's kind of like a time to do that, just because starting fresh with a new set of you know, revision talents, learning the new metas, that sort of thing. It should come pretty fun, I think. Um, I have no idea what spec to choose. I've always kind of leaned towards Affliction, um, but Demonology seems like it's kind of pretty beefy too. All of these classes, though, just seem like they have a tremendous amount of bloat with just the new abilities that are happening, because not a whole lot is getting retooled and reimagined into like something different. Um, they're just adding new stuff on top of the old stuff. Um, but Warrior is also probably going to be my main tank. I'm still kind of like, do I do Brewmaster or do I do Prot Warrior? Um, I really don't know for sure which one I'm gonna do. Um, I love them both so far. Um, lots of changes to arms though. Arms is getting a huge damage buff to all of their abilities. Execute damage, slam damage. Slam is now kind of being um, reverted back to like being that one skill that kind of you need to in your rotation to power other skills. So we'll see how that kind of plays out. But I'm kind of excited to play arms again, just for the simple fact that like there's a lot of core damage abilities that have been increased, and so I think that you'll see a lot of arms warriors topping DPS meters. That's just me. I wish to God Fury would get something that like makes them viable in raids, but we'll never see that, I guess. Maybe. Prot. This right here is one of the reasons why I want to tank as a warrior, because we finally get a standard damage reduction for magic. Like it's been fucking forever. Like, other than like just, I mean, we get abilities like spell reflect and, you know, like all that sort of stuff, but there really hasn't been anything that is just a pure reduction in damage against magic. Battle Scarred Veteran has been updated, so it would apply to 30% of your health. Is also reduced to 80, which is that. I mean, this is kind of nice. It's just one of those things where in between your defensives, if you have some damage coming in, it helps kind of mitigate that. Dance of Death has been redesigned. When an enemy dies while affected by your Ravager, your duration is extended by 2 seconds. This effect can trigger maximum number of 3 times. So basically, if you have Ravager going, expect it to last 6 more seconds. That's basically what it's saying. Which is nice because the damage from Ravager is really, really good. So if you have multiple mobs, and I don't think that it is capped by a certain number of mobs like some cleave and some abilities are. Whirlwind based rage cost is reduced. Finally, like it's kind of just it's a rage spender, just like any other rage spender, but the damage didn't seem significant enough to where it was requiring 30 cost to your rage. Like a third of your rage for one ability is insane. But they are reducing the damage output of it, which sucks, but we'll see. Execute damage increased and rend based costs reduced. Again, that's one of those things where it's about time that rend should not cost nearly 30% of your rage. And defensive stance no longer reduces damage dealt by warriors. I'm excited for that. I'm not gonna lie. More damage as a tank. Hell yeah. Immovable objects tooltip has been updated, and improved heroic throw has been removed. So that's it for the classes. We've got a lot of other stuff happening to some of the items. Most of these are just dealing with like the leveling gear being eroded at appropriate level. DPS items will no longer affect. Reduces with additional effects reduced by 33% for taking healers, and the sell value of elegant canvas brush. I don't know why that's a thing, but whatever. Player versus player. Do we have any PvPers in here? Who is a PvPer? Because if you are, let's duel. Rated Battleground Blitz is 8 versus 8 at accelerated pace. You can queue solo. This is interesting. Like I would love a fast-paced rated Battleground. Just because, like, you know, it's fun to have that like faster paced. What it would do is it would make rated Battlegrounds feel kind of more like arenas. And I think I would like that. All maps now have levers players can click to indicate that they are ready. I mean, that's quality of life, should have happened a long time ago kind of thing. Shadow sight now heightens enemies that are stealth with a red outline that can be seen through walls. That is cool, but also not cool when you're a rogue. Death Knight, the PvP talent, now overrides Asphyxiate. Yeah, whatever. Demon Hunter, cleansed by flames, now cleanses one magical effect. Was all. Ooh, that's a big nerf to Demon Hunter PvP. Because nothing like cleansing fucking everything off of you. Now it's only one. Sorry for you. New PvP talent for Druids, Tireless Pursuit. For 5 seconds after leaving cat form or travel form, you retain up to 40% movement speed. Well, that's great. Let's just make Druids even better at carrying the flag, because then they pop out to heal and then pop back in, and they're still running faster than you are. That's great. Let's see here. High winds have been redesigned. Increases the range of Cyclone, Typhoon, and Entangle. Yes, yeah. Let's just make it even easier for Druids to continuously cyclone you for no good reason. All right, Hunter, Mending Bandage now heals for 18% over its duration, was 30. Tranquilizing Darts has been removed. Like, none of these really seem like huge world-changing changes to PvP. But we'll see. I don't know who's Brewmaster PvPing, but I kind of want to do it now. Mistweaver, new PvP talent, Rodeo every 3 seconds, while Clash, I think that's supposed to be is off cooldown. Your next Clash can be reactivated immediately to wildly clash an additional enemy. This effect can stack up to 3 times. Enveloping Breath is now 100% effective. So everybody got Rodeo except for Brewmasters. That's weird. Paladin PvP. Turn Evil has been reduced in cast time. Judgment of the Pure has been removed. Let's see. What nerfs to rogues did they do? Vanish guaranteed stealth duration now 1.5 seconds in PvP combat. Shadowy Duel applies a screen effect, so it is more noticeable that you're inside of a duel. Okay, I mean, whatever. So, Warrior. Master and Commander now reduces the cooldown of Rallying Cry. Battlefield Commander now reduces the radius of Piercing Howl, or increases the radius, and Death Sentence PvP talents has been removed. Storm of Destruction has been redesigned, now reduces healing on an effective target. 25 for 10 seconds. And then Duel duration has been increased by 12 seconds. So really not a whole lot of changes, honestly, to Warriors, other than just kind of like tuning, it seems. Professions, new ability, Concentration. Concentration is a resource that you have a separate pool of per crafting profession. It represents your ability to heavily focus on your recipes and exceed your normal capabilities. You choose when you want to concentrate using a button within the crafting window, empowering your next crafts. Doing so will cause the craft to automatically reach the next level of quality, no questions asked. So crafters out there, if you have any insights on this, that seems cool. Mostly like when you want to be able to craft the one item that you want. It doesn't seem like there's any type of duration on this. At least here, there's nothing. It just says empowering your next crafts, but it doesn't say how many or if there is a cap or anything like that. So I guess that is TBD, or it has been determined. We just don't see it yet. New stat, Ingenuity. You have a chance to have an ingenious breakthrough when you concentrate on a craft, refunding a percentage of concentration spent. Okay. And then Inspiration has been removed. So as you can see, let me switch here to the live scene. Again, the UI has been updated. Oh, shoot. No, come back over to me. All right, spot camera. I had you in a certain position and you moved. That's my TV, by the way. Let's come back over here. Let's come back. Come back. Come back to me. Come back to me. There we go. Welcome back. So as you can see, we have a new loading screen. Once we're actually able to connect back, we should see also the new like war bands where you have your top, 5 or whatever characters with you in the screen. So that's kind of the new interface so far. Lots of quest and map navigation updates, meta quests, repeatable quests campaign all have 3D icons now. So once we're able to get in, open up your screen, check it out, see how things look. Objective trackers, they've updated the art on that. Your spell book has been completely changed now. So if you've seen what the beta looks like, it's all like one book for everything. So your spell book, search functionalities, like all that sort of thing is in there. Professions has its own micro menu inside of the spell book. Your mount journal has a button. So there's like a lot of things that are just kind of being redone to solidify the art style of the new UI system. And that's it. This is why this is such a huge update right now, and why none of us are playing currently. Because if you look at all these updates that are going through right now, like that's huge. So we've got a lot to look forward to with the War Within. There's one thing that I am thoroughly excited about is that this new expansion has given me kind of a new lease on retail, which I haven't had for a while. And I'm really excited to kind of get back and push retail to its limits once again. I haven't really done this since Mage Tower Legion days. What's up, dude? How's it going? I am no tough guy. I'm a big fuzzy bear. But come at me, bro. But yeah, so like being able to do kind of like Mage Tower stuff, that was like really my last like focused what am I trying to say? Like last real like push of doing a lot of retail. And so it's been a few expansions since I've done that. So I'm looking forward to going through and progressing and seeing kind of like what the War Within has. Seeing it firsthand at BlizzCon, and now seeing kind of like the things that they talked about at BlizzCon happening, it seems a little surreal, but I'm really excited, and hopefully the rest of you guys are too. So I'm very much excited for that. Let's see where we're at right now. Can we connect? Boo. All right. So let's see here. try to see if any of the other ones are. So it looks like Sod might be up. And Cataclassic. Nope, Sod's still down. Looks like Cata might be up. I don't know. Is anybody up yet? Let's see here. Renjani War Serpent or Heavenly Onyx Cloud Serpent. I believe I have the Heavenly Onyx Cloud Serpent. I do not have the Ranjani War Serpent. Are you Ryuzak or Ryuzak Mongo? Am I saying that correctly? Hopefully I am. Sorry if I'm not. Do you have both of those? Are you a mount farmer? Oh, nice. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Heavenly Onyx Cloud Serpent. I think that's the drop off of Shaw of Anger, right? Yeah, that was a pain in the ass to get. I haven't done the Rajani War Serpent yet. So does that mean that Pandaria Remix is up? Am I just not seeing it? Oh, nice. Yeah, I heard a lot of the mounts are like super easy to get on Remix at the moment. Alrighty. So it looks like Sod is up. So we are gonna level my rogue because I've been neglecting my rogue. I've been playing too much retail. That's why. Well, Ryu, good luck on your mount farming. I hope you get it first drop. If you do, you have to name it Poppy. Or I should say on your next drop of your next hour. Wee woo. What's up, Lexi? All right, let's see where to go. Terraria. We're gonna go to Western Plaguelands and kill some skellies. How about that? I know what you're thinking, Godsmack, that I should level my shaman. And I fully agree with you, but I love my rogue. Okay, so thank you, Lexi. So I don't know, like I don't know where everybody's at here, like in the world, not in the World of Warcraft. But so in Omaha, it has been blistering hot with lots of humidity, and my room gets very, very warm. And like I don't want to blast the AC and spend like $300 a month on electricity just because I'm running the AC. And plus, like, I don't want my AC to die in a year just because I've been trying to keep up with the heat. And so I bought a cooling vent that like sits in the vents where the air comes out from the AC, and you plug it in and it blows the cold air out from the vents even faster, and it's actually been quite nice. And on top of that, I got a cooling blanket off of TikTok. It's like one of those like TikTok ads that you see about just fucking random shit. But the cooling blanket, holy shit, it actually legitimately feels like it's like 60 degrees on the blanket. I am, dude. Dude, I gotta pay the bills, man. I don't need no like $400 electricity bill because I want to stay cool. Oh, and Godsmack, this is a present for you because you like showing off your cats on stream, and so here's mine. This is my chonker of a cat. This is Hi, Sheldon. Say hi to the stream. This is Dr. Sheldon Cooper, and he's my big boy. Hi, Shelly Betty. Dude, he's like 25 pounds. He's huge. He's a beefy boy. Yeah, he actually, so he shares the exact, well, this is what the shelter said his birthday was, but his birthday is exactly the same as my oldest son, like to the day. And so that's why we rescued him. And so he's been with us for 11 years now. Still a chunky monkey. Dude, this feels so weird after not playing it for so long and then playing retail, coming back to this shit. This is strange. I'm not gonna lie. Really, I can't jump through the window.
Well met. Go with honor, friend.
A plague upon thee. Let's go kill some skellies and then kill some people. Maybe we can get some PvP action going in here. Oh, I'm still tank spec. Funny. What in the world? Why is that guy running backwards?
I can't carry anymore.
Can I not carry it?
Inventory is full.
How is my... Already my inventory is full? Fuck's sake. I need backspace, guys. Apparently I suck at bagging and inventorying. I guess that's just like... Wow. Alright, Godsmack. Your character's dying in the next session.
Hey there. See you around.
That's right, Lex. Where the fuck is this vendor at?
Well met.
There we go. That's
Safe
my guy.
travels.
What can I help you with?
Whew, empty slots. Let's see. What do I not need? I don't need any of this shit. I do need all that stuff. I have 9 slots empty now. Okay. I'll be fine now. See, all that. I don't need any. Why have I not turned any of this shit in?
Be careful.
All right. Fucking Nomergon quest still in here. What the hell do I need that for? Dude, it's so easy as a rogue in Classic. Like, just toss on your tanking gear and let it fly. Because you still do a ton of damage as a tank rogue in SOD. It's crazy. You stack them high and let them fly, boys. Let's go. It is very strange though to like only see numbers and not see like all the visual effects that are happening. Like I kind of miss that in retail. Like, is there a way just to turn off all of the visual effects from spells and just see the numbers from your scrolling combat text? That's what I want. Like, I want all the nice stuff from retail, but with it look like this. What's up, Lex? Don't leave me in suspense here. Oh, nothing. All right. Oh, have you had your Mackies today, Lex? Oh, you know what? Let's get a little spicy here. Let's see what we got here. We got Blade Flare and a Adrenaline Rush. This might be too much, guys. I might have taken on a... Oh, I don't have my defensive on. Shit. There we go. That was a little too much. Not gonna lie. Ah! Run! Escape! Oh, ramen curry, nice. I don't know what to do for dinner tonight. I don't have the boys, so I'm on my own. I kind of feel like going to Chipotle and then just you know, doing my normal Chipotle burrito with some of their lime salted chips. I don't know, chat. Let's take a poll. Where should I go? All right, here we go. Let me see here. Yeah, Mexican for sure. Like that's always on the table. So we got wow, why is that coming over so weirdly? That was very strange. Apparently MS Paint doesn't come over stream very well. All right, so it sounds like Mexican. Chipotle. So okay, here's my question: Does Chipotle count as Mexican food? I mean, it's in the it's got to be at least in the category. I mean, I'll give you that it's like Mexican American food. It's not really like true Mexican food. There is a place called De Leon's that is like right next to my house that I can get some pickup. They have really good street tacos there. The problem is that like anything that sounds remotely good at the moment is like a sit down restaurant, and I don't want to have to like sit down at a restaurant to eat. The other thing too is that I could just go to the store and buy some steaks and have some steaks and baked potato. Again, all of this requiring me to do work. Or I could just eat fucking junk food. I don't want to talk myself into doing nothing and eating junk food, though. I want to actually eat food. So, Godsmack, what are you most excited about for the pre-patch and the expansion? What are you going to be doing? Yeah, that is going to be, I think, a lot of people's fun thing to do. I have purposely like tried not to see what Warbands is about, mostly because I want to experience it for the first time, like doing it live. So I kind of know what they are, but I also don't know what to expect, which is kind of the way I wanted it. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you hanging out with me, and can't thank you enough for the raid. I will do my best to treat these people as kindly as you do. Nah, this is going to get hairy. But have a good night, man. I'll be up bright and early tomorrow because I don't have work tomorrow, so maybe we can catch a mythic or two. Come on, let's go. I got this. There we go. Wow, that was a close one. Lots of people playing Classic at the moment. Well, I probably should have healed a little bit more, but that's all right. Nice. There we go. There we go. Now I gotta heal. Where is my... There it is. Bandages, and then bandage. We don't need no stinking bandage. Actually, we do. So, hopefully we like the new setup. Took me a while to get everything going, but finally up and running at the new place. Let's see, who do we have going on? Toxic Mo. Little Cupcake is on.
Lost Med.
Oh, maybe she's not. Okay. Oh, that was an old one, apparently. Let's see here. Zuru's on. No, she's not on either.
Oh, that's why.
Wow, a lot of people not on today. That is interesting. All right, well, let's do this. We got lots of ghouls to kill. And get it in before my blade flurry. Ooh, just barely. Alright, so I need the searing ghouls at the moment. They're all kind of like trapped within. That guy pulled one for me. Thank you, dude. That was nice. Oh yeah, we got him. We got him. Ain't no thing. All right, there we go. The life of a rogue. Stabby, stabby, stabby. Eat, eat, eat. Dreaded one, what is up? All right, which state is the best and why? I mean that's quite the question there. I've been to nearly every state with the exception of Hawaii, Alaska, and Vermont, I believe. Vermont and Delaware. So I spent time in nearly every other state. I would say Washington State is probably the prettiest state in terms of just like nature, because you have some really cool stuff that is right next to the ocean, but then you also go in from the ocean and you have some really cool forests. You have Mount St. Helens. So there's a lot of really cool, like really pretty things. California is the best, like, in terms of being able to find things to do. There's so much to do in California. So much food, so much culture. But I think probably overall the best state would probably be, I think, Colorado, just because there are parts of Colorado where they are just amazing during the summer, and then you have all of like the winter stuff that's happening as well. And you can smoke weed there. It's free. It's legal. So I would say Colorado. Anytime. Have you had any experience in the States? Where are you from originally? Oh, okay. I mean, Sweden is like any of the Icelandic states. Just look amazing to me, and I'd love to go there. Um, Plus, part of my ancestry is I'm 20 was it 21% from the Norwegian area, and 26% from uh like like the UK area, like in Wales. But I've always been interested in seeing that. So, two kids want to move to America. I think in Dallas, according to the people basically my kids. Yeah, so yeah, I died. That's life as a rogue. I have no heals. It is what it is, you know. So life in America is kind of crazy at the moment, just with all the things that are happening politically. Um, Dallas, however, is one of the more populous cities in Texas, which also means that it has a much larger population of immigrants, and so like there are a lot of people from places that are outside of the U.S. that come and immigrate to larger cities like Dallas. So you'll see that there is a varied culture there. It's not quite as it's not as much like it'll be very different than what you would experience outside of um places like Los Angeles, New York. However, the state is very conservative. It's a red-leaning state, which means in the U.S. at least, conservative means Republican, right to bear arms, rah rah America kind of culture. If you're looking for a place to go and you kind of want the best that America has to offer, I would probably lean more towards going to thanks Lexi. I would honestly like go more towards places like so there are like really cool spots in America that you can go to that are more welcoming to immigrants. I would go to the coasts, so the northeastern coastline or the western coastline. You could try places like Portland. I would try to pick any place where so the job sectors near larger cities are going to be much easier to find a job. Anything that has a big tech sector, or like if you're, I don't know what exactly do you do, like what's your range of skills? Okay. So yeah, you definitely want to hit any of the tech sectors. So where I'm at right now in Omaha is a huge growing tech sector. It is very conservative state, but there's also huge tech sectors in Dallas, Austin, Texas, uh, obviously Washington State has like Microsoft and like a bunch of big names there. If you want to stick with hot weather, I wouldn't go to Louisiana. I wouldn't go to Mississippi. I wouldn't go to Alabama. I wouldn't go to Florida. Um, Dallas and Austin um are pretty good choices, I would think. Cost of living is going to be really high in Austin. Um, so a lot of in Omaha where I'm at, it's called the Silicon Prairie because tech companies have moved into Omaha quite a bit. So there's already we're building a second data center for Google. Facebook has a data center here, and then there's just PayPal is here. So there's a lot of big tech in Omaha, Nebraska. The cost of living is super low. It's hot during the winter or during the summer. There's snow during the winter, so you're gonna have to deal with that. It's a great place to raise kids. I'm raising my two boys here. But as far as tech goes, it's a great place to be for tech. Utah. So there's a place in Utah called Saint Joseph, which has by far the best weather in the states. It's the most temperate. Um, it during the summer it's like 80 or 90. During the winter it barely breaks freezing. Um, Yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly what the price of housing is right now currently for Dallas. I know right now just buying in general it's kind of sucks because the percentage rates for houses are so high. Um, it's kind of hard to get locked into a good percentage rate. Um, but as far as like the price to rent, I don't think it's far off from Dallas, but we're probably like Omaha's probably going to be a little bit cheaper. But the thing with Dallas is that I think you, in my opinion, you get the better weather because you don't get, if you do get snow, it's kind of like a fast like sleet and then it's gone, and you might get like the low temperatures, but you won't get nearly as much snow as you do in Omaha. We get at least like 4 to 6 inches a year of snow, so you have to like, that's the only thing that I miss about being in California is just the constant nice weather. Oh, I bet. I don't think that the winters are as harsh as they are in Sweden. I don't know for sure how far down they get. In terms of just like inches of snow, but we do get like very cold temperatures, and so like during the winter it will get as low as like -14. Okay, so it is pretty similar then, it seems. I gotta manage. Dude, I'm gonna have to put on DPS gear for this. This is nuts. But yeah, Dallas during the winter is like, I think that at the very least it gets to like the 20s or 30s. Oh, it very much gets hot in Nebraska. Like, so right now, it's about what is the temperature right now? It's 90 degrees right now. So, it does get very hot. It gets into the hundreds here. But our springs and our falls are amazing. Those are the best few weeks of like, you know, anything that would. God damn it, my op spot. I turned you off. I don't want tracking. So yeah, and that's anywhere like in the Midwest. So if you look at the map of the U.S., everything from Texas, and if you draw a line from the edges of Texas and go all the way up, that's pretty much what we consider the Midwest. So you're looking at states like Oklahoma, Nebraska. I think, you know, Midwesterners typically think of themselves going as far as like Indiana. And so like any of those states kind of in the middle of the country will, yeah, North Dakota, Kansas for sure. Actually, Kansas City might not be a bad choice either. So populace wise, Kansas City is much larger than Omaha. They also have professional sports teams. They have a theme park. So there is more stuff to do in Omaha. But one of the craziest things about Omaha is that per capita, we have more restaurants than any state in the U.S. And so there, if you like food, you will have no lack of really good cuisine living in Omaha. We have everything from African food, so like we have Nigerian restaurants, we have Ethiopian restaurants, we have Vietnamese restaurants, we have Venezuelan restaurants, we have like all this really good cultural food in Omaha, as well as like all of the, you know, typical US chains that are here as well. So you'll have no lack of that. We also have the world's best zoo. Well, not the world, but like the best zoo in the States. It's the Henry Dooley Zoo. And if like with your kids, they would absolutely adore it. The zoo has like all of the features of what you would see. Like they have a safari. There is a desert dome where all of the desert animals live. There is an aquatic center. You can walk through the aquatic center and see like sharks above your head. It's so cool. And then they also have this like play area where you can take your kids. They can go to like a splash park and like do all this really cool stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, I enjoy it more as I get older living in Omaha. When I was younger, like in my 20s and partying and stuff like that and wanting to go out and do stuff, you know, other states probably would have seemed a lot nicer. But now that I have my boys and, you know, I just kind of want to chill and stay home and, you know, do dad stuff. Omaha's a great city, honestly. Yeah, I'd definitely check it out because, especially if you're in like cybersecurity, and you want to get a job at Google, there's two data centers here, for Google. PayPal is here, although I mean, as a cybersecurity expert, like you probably would have more secure, like job security than just like, you know, somebody who is answering, you know, customer service calls or things like that. But um PayPal like just got through doing like a big um like resizing, firing, that sort of thing. Um yeah, I honestly I wouldn't go anywhere but Dallas or Austin if you were looking at Texas. Anything outside of that is probably not gonna be like very convenient. Um, I'm not entirely sure why that is. Um, you know, it definitely does. So Omaha does feel like a big city, but it's not really. Oh, the tornadoes. I've lived in Omaha for 14 years and um have yet to really experience anything close to like a tornado. Um so I wouldn't really worry about that. Like every city that you move to is going to have some sort of like weird thing that has it. Like you're not going to escape too much of that. California has earthquakes, you know. um Texas has flooding. Like there's all this weird stuff that's happened, but like you're not ever going to see a tornado unless you go out and like try to look for one. um I think the last tornado that ever went through Omaha wasn't even that big, but it was in like the 70s. Like it's a rare occasion. They usually happen over areas where it's like less populated, not nearly close to the cities. Yeah, and I mean you'll get some like hail and like high winds and things like that, but I have yet to see a tornado like with my own eyes. Well, I think that like cybersecurity alone is going to give you a leg up on obtaining something like that. Um, Mostly because like that's a pretty in demand job these days, and so I think that you'll have a much easier time than say coming over with somebody that just has like a computer science degree. And companies like Google, I know of more than a few people that they've helped obtain visas for, um, getting positions and stuff. So, um, Yeah, I have a couple of buddies that work for Google. I can ask them. I don't know for sure like how that works or if they know anybody in the hiring um like department for that, but they've a couple of my friends have been with Google for like 10 years now. Yeah, they really enjoy working for Google. Not gonna lie. They've got to be up there. Like I'm sure that they are. There's a lot of benefits to working for Google. Like, you know, I you get like stock options, um, unlimited vacations, like all this, all kind of like the normal bells and whistles that you would expect from like a big name tech company. Yeah, so like my buddies, like they haven't paid for a meal since they've been working at Google for 10 years because like everything is literally supplied. Like there's a whole cafeteria. Um they just go get whatever they want and like they don't have to worry about paying for it. It's crazy. But they're salaried very well. They get bonuses, you know, they get stock options. There's a lot of stuff and a lot of those tech companies are like that. I'm sure Facebook is probably like that too. Although I don't know anybody that works at Facebook though. Um, I can answer. Oh, this arm right here. So we are very tatted up in Omaha. Actually, now that I think about it, there are quite a few tattoo shops here. There's also a tattoo convention that comes through the CenturyLink Center here every year. It's really awesome. I'm assuming you asked because you have some. Oh, like yeah, you won't find a problem. I'm sure that some employers might get offended by stuff like that, but it's more like corporate type work where they expect you to be in like a suit and tie kind of thing. Like you probably wouldn't get a job selling cars at Lexus, but I don't think that's what you want to do. But if you're working cybersecurity for a tech company, I don't think you'll have a problem. Dude, I'm a 6'4", 300-pound white guy with tattoos. I look pretty imposing, but I'm not. Yeah, you wanna make that cybersecurity money. That's what I'm talking about. I guess I'm not really adding to my stereotype here because I drive forklifts for Costco. So like I'm a big white dude that drives a forklift that's tatted up and has a beard. But I'm a huge nerd. I like Lord of the Rings and World of Warcraft. Dude, it's so much fun. It's like being an adult playing Tetris in real life. It's fun. Oh, nice. So, do the IKEAs in Sweden also sell Swedish meatballs? Because they do here, and they're really yummy. Also, do Swedish meatballs actually come from Sweden, or is that just an American thing? That's amazing. I love it. Yeah, so the Swedish meatballs that we have, at least that I remember, it's been a really long time since I've been to an IKEA. Mostly because like they don't have they don't have an IKEA near here. It's in Kansas City. Last one I was in was when I was in California, which was like 15 years ago. But they have like a like almost a brownish kind of gravy. So like a meat gravy almost. So Swedish has whipped cream, breadcrumbs, and eggs in them. I I don't remember them being like that. It could be. I don't know. I just remember getting them when I was young and like I'm having meatballs in a furniture store. Okay, so it probably was then. Dude, I'm starving now. Oh, hi, Shelly Billy. I bet. I mean, it sounds good. Like all those things that you named are like, I'm down. But yeah, dude, anytime you want some information about the states, or if you actually do get to the states and you come to Omaha, be more than happy to take you out for a beer. So lingonberries, cucumbers and vinegar, mashed potatoes, parmesan. Hell yeah. Dude, I'd be down. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Dude, I'll get you a proper English dinner or American dinner and cook some barbecue. Get some St. Louis style short ribs. Some hamburgers. Get all fat. Oh, and if you have never had American style mac and cheese, oh, woo, let me tell you, ain't nothing like putting 5 cheeses and bacon in your mac and cheese. So I mean, so barbecuing is huge anywhere in the Midwest. You can go everywhere from like Wisconsin all the way down to Texas. Midwesterners
But
are
if
all
you're
about.
here, who's guarding Hades?
What is up? Appreciate the follow. Yeah, I mean, so like that's kind of like the culture in America. Like Midwest is all about the barbecue. So there's styles of barbecuing. Kansas City has one of the more famous styles of barbecuing. They even have like their own version of like a barbecue sauce that people try to emulate. Louisiana has a style of barbecuing. Um, I don't know. It's one of those things that has been taken over by the Midwest, I think. Just because it's been done so well throughout the Midwest, and really that's kind of like where the cattle ranges, old times when they would migrate the cattle from, up north down to Texas. Midwest has just become famous for its barbecue, and it's delicious. I'm not gonna lie. All right, I need one more of these searing ghouls. Where are you at? I mean, it varies, but for the most part, it's some form of like pasta, with a vegetable and a meat. I mean, like that's kind of the trifecta of, typical American eating. So rice, spaghetti, macaroni, that some type of pasta or starch, even mashed potatoes, and then a vegetable, and then a meat. I did not know we had a Gothenburg. There are parts of Nebraska that I still have yet to visit, but sounds pretty cool. I wonder if I can pick up a goth chick in Gothicburg or Gothenburg. Poppy needs a goth mommy in a black skirt with eyeliner. Oh, no shit. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm wondering now too, like if there is some correlation to your Gothenburg and Nebraska's Gothenburg, because um, maybe somebody from Sweden like emigrated and created that town. That's happened a lot in the U.S. There's like pockets of like people who had immigrated to the U.S. in like the 1800s that just created a town and named it something similar to wherever they were from. There's like lots of places in like Wisconsin and like all over. There you go. I told you, right? Oh yeah, that I'm.
You need something? Have a good one. Be careful.
Union Pacific is huge in Nebraska.
For the Alliance. See you later. Have a good one.
Oh, that's funny. That's crazy. Like, think about that, because so the Union Pacific Railroad was right after the Civil War. So like we're talking late 1860s, 1870s, that range. And I think that the railroad was actually completed in like the 1870s or 1880s. Um,
Bless you.
and so he had to recruit people from the U.S. like via message across the Atlantic to bring people back over here. Like we're talking months. It's insane how that like I'm sorry. I love the time that we live in because I love the internet and I love computers. I could never imagine living somewhere where it took literal months to get messages across to people. It's insane to think about. And there's kids that are being born like in the 2010s that have never probably never will use like snail mail, where they'll write a letter and send it off with a stamp in their mailbox. Like that's just the most foreign concept to them. I don't know. It's insane. But yeah, I appreciate each and every day that I live right now because um we could be living in the 1800s and die of dysentery. True dat. True dat. Look at that. It was meant to be. Come home to your people. Let's see here. Dude, that's a huge percentage. Holy crap.
What you know about me?
No, I love it. I love the history. Yeah, I figured that that's probably like what it was because it happened so frequently. Um, that the immigrants would come and just create their own communities because in America, like none of that had been discovered yet, or it just it was one of those things where just go and create your own shit. So, but I do appreciate each and every one of you who have come to the stream. It is that time for me. Dreaded, thank you so much for the chat. I appreciate that. I appreciate the follow. And everybody else who followed today. I will be on once again 2 p.m. Central. And Dreaded, if you are ever in Nebraska, please look me up, DM me, come and find me somehow, because we need to get some Swedish meatballs. But with that, I'm going to raid you out to my friend April Cat. She's playing World of Warcraft right now. Believe she is on Classic at the moment. And everybody, please treat her nicely.
I was scared. Bee,
Wonderful, because you look bonita.
you look bonita. Oh no, I'm so gonna die. I'm so gonna die. Please no. I, I, pave the way, put your back into it. Tell us why, show us how. Look at where you came from. Look at you now. Hey,
Cat, I need something interesting to say for 26 months before I miss the chance.
why didn't you just kill them all? Thank you so much for the raid, Poppy. I really appreciate welcoming everyone. My name is Epcat. I'm a full-time Blizzard streamer. I play World of Warcraft from the POV of a feral 99% of the time. I play every version of WoW. I play Kata. I play Classic. I play SOD. I play Hardcore. I play Retail. And we just are super chill vibes. Like to hang out. Thank you for trusting me with your community. RSGO, thank you so much for 26 months. Being a vote for the war. I can't kill anybody, but I also haven't layered yet. Beach, finally easy one. Yay, Heartchu, thank you so much. I thought you'd be enjoying the pre-patch right now. Coco, it's not out yet. It's been pushed back. So, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. Okay. I don't think you can layer when you're dead. Can you? Jeffrey Bezos. Pave the way, put your back into it. Tell us why, show us how. Look at where you came from. Look at you now. Okay,
All right.
I need to
Well,
press the ghost.
treat Apricot nicely.
Yes.
And I
Ghost
am
detector. Turn in.
going to be ending the stream. So everybody, thank you so much.